In this video, we will talk about biodiversity and healthy society. Biodiversity is defined as the vast variety of life in an area, which is determined by the number of species in that area. It's the totality of genes, species, and ecosystems of a region. As biodiversity increases, so does the health of the ecosystem increases. Biodiversity can be broken down into three types: genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Genetic diversity is a variety of genes which control inheritable characteristics that are present in a population or species. An example of genetic diversity: ladybugs. Ladybugs come in a variety of colors, which is controlled by genes. This gives the species of ladybugs a greater chance of surviving as the environmental conditions change. Greater genetic diversity increases the odds of survival of a species or population as the ecosystem changes. Another type of diversity is a species diversity, number of species and the relative abundance of each species in a community. An example of species diversity is mushroom. Mushrooms are collected from a particular forest. Notice how many different species are found in this area. This habitat would represent an area of a high species diversity. As species diversity increases, most likely the health of the ecosystem increases. Our last type of diversity is ecosystem or ecological. Variation in the ecosystems found in a region in ecosystems over the whole planet. It is the measure of biotic and abiotic factors. For example, rainforests have a high ecosystem diversity, while in the polar regions have low ecosystem diversity. Also, biodiversity is also the source of essential goods and ecological services that consumes the source of life. For it has food, medicine, agriculture, and industry. Therefore, we as human inhabitants, we must preserve and conserve the biodiversity of all creatures. Thank you.
Greetings! So today I'll be reporting air and water treatment and protocols on biodiversity. Some of the gases, pollutants considered like nitric oxide and ozone in moderate amount has a big contribution to our ecosystem. However, due to excessive concentration of these gases, the capacity of the environment to clean itself and to be resilient is diminished. Nitrogen reduces the durability of our forests that can cause drought, frosts, pests, and diseases. Also, concentration of nitrate in drinking water is too high to protect our natural ecosystems, particularly the plant species. Widespread limitless of nitrogen critical concentration will surely affect the structure and function of our ecosystem. But the effects of excessive nitrogen in our environment may not be felt at once. It may take decades but will definitely weaken soil and plants. Since 1996, there was a vegetation damage around the world due to ozone. Ozone found at the ground level of the earth is known as the bad ozone. It was created by chemical reactions between oxide and nitrogen and volatile organic compounds under the presence of sunlight. High levels of it promotes early flowering, which affect the synchronization of pollinators and flowers. Negative impacts on vegetation reduce the sink capacity of carbon dioxide and ozone, affecting the global water cycle. The effects of global warming are harmful to the environment and its inhabitants, but worldwide efforts are being made to decrease nitrogen deposition to the biosphere to enhance plant surface diversity and relative richness in grasslands. Protocols on biodiversity. There are implementation of regulations and worldwide protocols such as Montreal Protocol, and Kyoto Protocol. Montreal Protocol was established to phase out substances that deplete ozone, while the Kyoto Protocol is placed to reduce the emissions of green gases with the exception to ozone depleting substances. There is also a Cartagena Protocol, which is also an international agreement on biosafety. It aims to ensure the safe transportation, handling, and use of living modified organisms that may result from modern technology that may have adverse effect on biodiversity. These protocols helps to protect Pacific communities. It requires having facilities in place through proper legislative frameworks, laboratory facilities, technology, and technical capabilities to enable countries to detect, measure, and monitor LMOs that come into the country.
Locally, strict implementation of environmental laws among industries and communities like this be ensured to prevent further damage of biodiversity from air and water pollutions. There should also be efforts to ensure whatever treatment is employed, it shouldn't promote mass pollutions, transfer from one matrix of the environment to another. And that's all. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm gonna discuss food and energy. So let's start with the food. We all know that food is the basic need for human survival. During the Stone Age, humans relied only on hunting and foraging to get food. They depended on what the ecosystem could readily provide them. As the Earth population grew, the demand for food increased. Crops that can be grown were discovered and cultivated, and animals were domesticated. Throughout history, agriculture and cultivation evolved from picking desirable crops and breeding animals to maintaining stable supply of food to last for a long period of time as preparation for changing seasons and possibility of natural disasters. Ways to cultivate desired species of crops and animals suitable for consumption also evolved throughout time. The increasing demand for food as the world population grew also resulted in the development of more lands and agriculture. Farmers and fishermen rely on healthy ecosystems for their livelihood. The benefits of biodiversity are necessary for the growth of many important crops. About 39 of leading 57 global crops needed birds and insects as pollinators. Agrobiodiversity is a result of careful selection and innovative development by farmers, fishers, and herders throughout the year.
Harvest crop varieties and non-harvest species in the environment that supports the ecosystem for food production fall under agrobiodiversity.
Energy. Humans rely on energy provided by ecosystems to do necessary activities in order to survive.
In the Stone Age, heat energy from fire was used mainly for survival against harsh cold environments, for cooking, and for communication with nearby tribes in the form of smoke. In 1000 BC, coal as a source of energy was used by people in northeastern China for heating and cooking. In 400 BC, water energy or hydropower was used by the ancient Greeks and Romans and for irrigation. To 900 AD, the Persians started to use wind power gains mills, and water pumps. By 1,300 windmills, taking the modern pinwheel shape, were developed in Western Europe, and in 1390, the Dutch built larger windmills for draining lakes and marshes in the Rhine River Delta. Wind energy was also used to navigate through bodies of water. During the 1700s to 1800s, at the time of the Industrial Revolution, biomass as a primary source of energy was placed with coal, and the British discovered by the burning. Coal is transformed into hot burning coke, a fuel with high carbon content and few impurities. With this, the use of coal became. In 1820s, natural gas was used as the source of light, although the lack of pipeline infrastructure made its contribution challenging. In 1830s, the electric generator was developed based on Michael Faraday's discovery of electromagnetism. In 1850s, commercial oil was drilled, which led to the distillation of kerosene from petroleum. In 1860s, Agustin Mouchet developed the first solar power system for industrial machinery. In 1892, geothermal energy was first used. In 1942, the first nuclear fission reactor was designed and built. In the 19th century and 20th century, the utilization of coal energy shaped the industrialization of the United States, United Kingdom, and other European countries. In 1979, a nuclear reactor accident at 3 Mile Island near Middletown, Pennsylvania happened. At the end of 1980, the biggest oil spill in the U.S. waters, the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska, occurred. So that's all. Thank you.